Cool, so welcome to the second mock tour. It is now Sunday. The place is as crowded as yesterday, and we are doing a mock tour of the second hall of all the great stuff that the AFOLs brought. And we'll start right here by taking a look at all these amazing models built and displayed, and we have a ton of themes going on here. We have Asterix, we have the Smurfs, we have Tintin is here as well, Haddock. All of them beautifully built and executed. Peppa Pig is here as well. And we have a bunch of brickhead style builds. And at the end here, we have a couple of beautiful, smaller, very colorful models, and a sanctuary in a Roman town, and a very interesting build by Mirko, who's built an RT project. It's a UCS scale mock of the AT-RT in Star Wars, which is a nice, different scale compared to what we see in some places. And being a fan of Star Wars, I really appreciate this. Over here at the end wall, we have some beautiful mosaics, and we'll do a pan for you to really enjoy them. Known characters there. And there's a beautiful mosaic of the AFOL engagement department lead, Tormod Askildsen, who has retired after 39 years of service in the LEGO group. That's a very nice homage to him and all his work for the AFOL community. Great stuff.
Tak for han. Jamen selv tak i hvert fald. Vi snakkes lige ved.
And over here we have another bunch of beautiful models on display, lots of colors, lots of great designs. I'm especially fond of the upscale minifigure over here, which is really beautiful. And this one is a true favorite of mine, of the mocks in display here. Christina built a different world, and it's a world inside a Marshall speaker, or two Marshall speakers, and it got light and very, very colorful and beautiful techniques. And we're moving into the world of the Lord of the Rings. We have Balin's Tomb, the Tower of Ortank, and we have a wonderful display here of Hobbiton in the Shire, built by Michael. Beautifully executed. And a few more models, and some nice upscale 3D printing of LEGO elements. An old LEGO pirate. And Brian did the Island of the Lost. There's some pirate ships, Imperial ships as well, and an Imperial fortress at the end of the display. And here we have Technic trucks, all built by Ellekjær Thomsen, who is doing a great job at interpreting existing models into Lego bricks. And as far as I know, they all work as they should. When it comes to the real life models, Mikes has done the John Deere selection down here. And we have a Jurassic Discovery display where you can see the foot of the dinosaur in the middle. And we have a couple of stormtroopers combing the desert. And at the next table here, Rune has given us some beautiful builds. Going from ancient Asia, moving in to future space. Some beautiful display builds. Saskia has done a guarded in. This is a nice take. And we have a fun Halloween train mark where you have a regular train going through a wall and it all becomes Halloweenish. And here we have Manuel's Harry Potter Quidditch field, which is a huge build of the Quidditch stadium with all the different houses there and present and the team standing on the field ready to play. And right next to it, we have a collection of official Lego toys from the time beyond or pre-1975. We have wooden toys, we have the old automatic binding bricks, we have the building pins, byggepinner as they were called, which is a truly different brick that doesn't really exist anymore, but which we have right here. That's a step back in time. There's a preschool set. Guess that's what's later become Duplo. Minitalia, and lots of memorabilia. And then we move over here where we have a lot of different takes on building the Death Star in different versions and different themes. There's the old UCS version turned into classic space, and then you have various other iterations. There's pirates, and there's even a bigger blown out Duplo version back there. And there's a beautiful Disney themed one right here, which has a micro scale Disney castle on top, and all the Disney characters are present. We have Hook, we have Peter Pan, we have Woody. Seems like they all have Minnie Mouse, Mickey Mouse. And here we have the Hollywood Tower, which is built in pink. And as the picture shows, it is truly a pink Hollywood Tower hotel, which is just a massive model. Must have taken ages to get all that pink bricks. Peter doesn't only build in pink, he also builds spaceships in a rather large scale. And next to the spaceships we have Ducktown, built by Doris and Manfred. And you have all the well-known Ducktown characters present here. And there is, for some reason, also a goat. That's the thing now. Andrea built a life-size, real-size samurai armor. Sadly, Andrea isn't here, so we could ask him if we could put it on and wear it. But I would assume that you could, and that it's built to use. And next to it, we move into the world of Mindstorms. We have Erik Stenstra's workspace, which is built out of Technic elements. And I do believe maybe the chair can actually drive. I'm not sure. Erik isn't here right now. Otherwise, we could have asked him. But he also complemented it with a really, really beautiful working lamp made out of Technic elements. Here we have some Star Wars models that have all been given lights, so that really adds to the sensation and the feeling of it. The Death Star is ready to blow something up, that's for sure. Here we have a bunch of mechs and walkers in various sizes. All of them really beautiful builds. And then we have a very, very busy castle diorama, which has everything. It has armies, it has ruins, it has a operational, functional castle, and lots of techniques and elements used to really give it a lot of texture. And it's hard to find even a single stud that's exposed because it's all been covered in foliage or texture elements. And this is the Moduverse build. I spoke to one of them and I believe he said that around 16 people contributed to this. And they have a standard for a base plate size element that they built. And then they just, well not just, they click them together and add on. And there are certain rules and restrictions in regards to height and where it meets and how the roads are to be. So when all 16 people meet, they can, to some extent, click everything together and it works, but also a lot of work going into designing where which plate or which train track goes. But it's, again, another amazing show of what the community can do when they build together and work together to create something truly amazing. Pretty awesome.
Thank you.
And we'll just take a brief look from the other side of it. It's so big it should be experienced in real life. But my trusty cameraman will do his best to capture as much as possible for you to enjoy. And over here at this table, we have two massive dioramas where you have pirate ships, you have imperial ships, you have a beautiful port, you have a fort, and you have a lot of trans blue bricks making out the oceans. And you see this one over here has been tiled, which gives it a very nice and smooth surface, and small waves have been added. And this one over here, the next one, actually has the plates or the tiles put in to add a continuous texture. But if we move back to this one, there's also light added. So the ships have light, and this one actually has a fight of cannons going on. And we go back into Ducktown, now in a slightly different scale, as we have all the Ducktown minifigures there, and Bart Simpson for that sake. Next to it we have a Western story, we have Indians, we have the cavalry, the what? The sign. And trucks. Beautiful model team scale trucks. With that little dash of chrome added to give a beautiful effect to the rims. Back here we have some more trucks, though in a slightly different scale. Red Bull Racing, built by Peter. And there's a Star Wars diorama, which has, again, lights in the fires, and you have the stormtroopers and Ewoks and lots of activities going on. Then you have the landing platform. And this one is actually quite interesting. You have a drawer made out of 2 IKEA cabinets, built by Annika, and she called it the brick shelf. And she also built a lamp with a lampshade as well in bricks. There's a bit of stress of those, but it's, yeah, really, really nice. And we have the back of the diorama that we saw earlier with the pirates and the Imperials. And there are some nice cutouts in there with lights and everything. And down here at the end of the table, I think we get a better view from down here. We have a beautiful Hogwarts castle. You can see the boats going across the lake with the students. And the students arriving for another year of school. I will be back. And moving over to this table, we are revisiting Mindstorms. We have a few Mindstorms models. There's a video showing what they do. There's a monster truck roller coaster. And then we have a lot of smaller vignettes and builds over here. There's a beautiful mushroom house with a very organic touch to it. And then we have all these small vignettes from the Lord of the Rings that are really nice. This one is actually one of my favorites here. Really, really well done. The Mandalorian spear, the dark saber, and various Star Wars related items from the Mandalorian. And we have a mini modular town. At some point, the LEGO Group released some of the modular buildings they did as mini modulars, and the community kept adding. And this is some of those added buildings. 2 mega trucks. I'll believe that. One of them is carrying a lot of pigs. and a couple of skyscrapers. One of them is under construction and the other one is lucky enough to have people already moving in. And here there's a beautiful fantasy diorama with a lot of great techniques, and there's a magical portal here which actually has lights. And these are actually some quite fascinating builds, adding that kind of restriction to yourself, only building within the glass. And an airship. Peter is really, really amazing at building. Street. And a model which he calls Teddy is Lost. And I think I found Teddy right here in the middle. Very light blue, but it seems that there's a lot of people looking for him as well. And something has gotten completely wrong in that world. A couple of town modules with lights. And the working underground train station. And some very classic type style builds over here. Some lamps. And Sheepo's garage display of Technic builds. Amazing as always. Lord of the Rings build. We have the ring wraiths. Cyberpunk City. So we have a couple of skylines. We'll come back to Deborah's moving model once we come to the other end of the table. There's a big serpent which says, "I am looking at you." That's kind of scary. And Animeta has actually done another comment build, as he tends to do, and this one is called Corona. So you have a lot of vignettes speaking to the whole COVID pandemic, and you have the virus and everything going on. And coming up we have some beautiful mocks. Star Wars, Battle of Theed, Fusion Brothers, and Invasion of the Cuddle Bears. So you have these sweet cuddle bears fighting what seems to be an evil skeleton empire. Lots of bright colors, lots of dark colors with the baddies. A couple of more snakes coming up. And the Atomium, which was part of the Brussels World Fair in 1958. So a real life building that turned into a mock. Castle diorama. Using the gray version of the gold bars for texture in the castle. It's nice. Platonic solids. And Rick built his own zoo, complete with flamingos, rhinos, a cafe, everything a zoo needs. Penguins. trains with what appears to be custom stickers. Nice. The elves tree with elves. And a bunch of smaller mocks, some of them depicting known stories. We have The Nightmare Before Christmas, Little Red Riding Hood, and someone winter bathing. And some very, very beautifully executed Lord of the Rings books. And we have what appears to be the history of Lego minifigures, upscaled and built. These are awesome. It's another built by Animated. And we have another comic build where you have a Lego fan in a sad city. So everything is very gray and sad, except for the Lego fan sitting in his Lego room building with Lego bricks. And Jimmy built some matches. Nice. And a couple of other beautiful models as well. And another Star Wars mock, the AT-BT. And now we're coming up to Deborah, who has a very beautiful mock that I'm hoping she will show us.
Actually, you know what? It's so easy. And then again. That's amazing.
So it's a sliding bookshelf that Deborah built. It's a fascinating technique used.
If I may say, this is not my design.
It's not your design?
This is a Norwegian woodworker who entered a contest. But
Oh.
doesn't he happen to be his cousin?
Probably he is.
He is. No, he is. I saw this and he said, this
Oh.
is my cousin's work. So I saw it on TikTok and needed to make it.
So you took inspiration.
It's fully inspired by him. This
Yeah.
is his math. This is his woodworking. He uses piano hinges and one piece of plywood.
Okay. Very nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
The medical frigate from Star Wars, built by Anders from Sweden. And we have a city block, Cedrica, very busy. Spent lots of time looking at all the activities there. Various vignettes, again ranging from different themes and different scales built. We have gossip birds, which are quite funny actually to look at. And coming up next to it, we have a very sleek display of steampunk vehicles, different sizes and scales. There's even a hot tub over here where they are enjoying being in a very warm desert in a hot tub. Apologies. And we have a display of all the different micro figures that showed up first in the Lego games, but later found their way into regular Lego sets.
Yeah, that's true.
And we also have different. Oh,
Without reflection.
thank you. No reflection then. Thank you very much. That's a nice collection. Some various micro builds, looking at some of the Lego themes of the past. And a build of the Hotel Hilton in the Faroe Islands. And the Nebulan frigate again. And lastly, built Cambodia in different years. So you have year 1200, year 1900, and now at the different stages of this place, how it was, how it turned into a ruin, and how it's been restored. And this is all built still by Lasse, who is a very, very skillful builder. He built some Orthodox churches, and this one from Moscow is actually one of my favorite builds because it's very, very colorful. And I think he caught the whole organic structure of it beautifully in Lego bricks. A couple of mosaics of famous people. And we have a medieval castle complete with small brick-built sheep. And then we have the Bay of Lost Treasures, which is another pirate-themed build. We have a beautiful imperial fort or outpost up here. Really like the way that all the walls and towers are designed. Really well done. And then we have a super colorful amusement park. A fun park, as it's named. Lots of colors going on. And we have Tall Neck, Thunderjaw from Horizon Zero Dawn. So if you know the computer game, these will resonate with you. If not, you can really just appreciate the design and skills used to build this. And Anna built the Star Wars Rebels chopper Mindstorms robot. And we'll just move over here and let you get back to looking. Sorry. Here we have a portal build where a spaceship is being hurled through and into another dimension. And Cecilia has gifted us with some of her beautiful builds, utilizing a lot of different techniques. And Søren has done some nice micro-scale builds here. And a great hall. And a couple of futuristic models. All beautiful stuff. And a fabulanized Millennium Falcon. Easily recognizable. And a fun take. We have a polar bear. And the dragon's castle. Some nice, small built guitars with a lot of detail added. And a badminton ball. And here at the very end of the table, we have another Fabulant build. It's the Fabulant Station. We have all the characters from Fabulant represented, and there's even a Minnie Mouse hiding in there. And Alyssa brought a Victorian hat and purse. Yeah. A couple of more trains on a display by Magic. Lots of details. And a micro-scale version of Tatooine, which is very busy and will take some time to take in, but there's a lot of nice details and known ships there. And that is probably one of the most crazy business card minifigure collections I have ever seen. Must have been collecting for quite some time. Rumor has it that my business card from when I was at the Lego Group is in there somewhere. Probably is. NCIS headquarters from the American TV show. The Handmaid's Tale, very powerful build. Another TV show, and Bones, which is another TV show. All of them built by Eva. It's the Lion's Keep. And some beautiful Blacktron models with individual display signs as well to show exactly which vehicles they are. Simon built Mega City. And next to it there is a beautiful classic space layout, which has a whole new take on space stations and how they can look. And there's lights in there as well. And I don't know if we can pan all the way up and down the apocalyptic sci-fi tower, which also has a lot of things going on. Lights again, and a lot of small and big, beautiful builds and techniques used. Here's a river that takes us through the Four Seasons. And some would argue that this is actually also slightly a GBC module as it moves balls, but that's a nice feature, at least an activity going on there. Down here at the very end we have a Star Wars Venator Star Destroyer, and to wrap everything up, Martin's beautiful Terminator T-800 bust, very recognizable design, very beautifully executed. And that concludes the second mock tour and the mock tour of both halls at Skærbæk Fan Weekend in 2022. We'll be back with another tour next year, but even better, why don't you be here and present and display your own mocks as well. Thank you.